so we have a power cycle operating between two thermal reservoirs. One's at 300 Kelvin, that's our high temperature reservoir, and the other thermal reservoir is at 285 Kelvin. There's our power cycle in between. It tells us that it receives heat from the high temperature reservoir and rejects it at a rate of 14,400 kilojoules per minute. It also tells us what the net power output is, and that's 10 kilowatts. So what I'm going to do, you'll notice beforehand I've got on my diagram a W.in minus the W.out, but I could just put one single arrow for W.net out, which would represent any W.out minus any W.in. And then I want to find the thermal efficiency of that power cycle, and then the maximum possible thermal efficiency for any such power cycle operating between those two thermal reservoirs. So the thermal efficiency based on the operating conditions, the W.net out and the Q.out, I can calculate that. You'll notice that my thermal efficiency equation, it's written as W.net out over Q.h, and I do not know Q.h. However, I can apply my first law for a cycle, which tells me that the W.net out has to be equal to the Q.net in, and that's true for any cycle, not just a power cycle. So that can give me an equation for what my Q.h is based on just W.out and Q.l. And it's just plug and chug. Do make sure that you watch those units, but I get a thermal efficiency, a very paltry 4%, very paltry thermal efficiency there. And then the highest possible thermal efficiency is only dictated on the temperature of those two reservoirs. So the way that I get that equation is I put the equation in terms of just Q's, and then I switch the Q's with T's and make sure that those temperatures are in absolute temperature units. And here we are in Kelvin. So plug and chug, and I get an efficiency of 5%. So that's the highest possible thermal efficiency that I could hope to attain with this particular power cycle operating between those two thermal reservoirs. All right, well, I hope that was helpful. Thank you for watching, and let me know if you have any questions.